Museums are vessels of antiquity, institutions that tend to embrace conservative traditions. So how are museums adapting to the digital age? Does new technology pose a threat or present an opportunity? Those are some of the questions being explored in the Boston Athenaeum's series on the future of the museum. WGBH arts editor Jared Bowen attended the event. So what is the digital reality facing museums?
Well, it's a pretty substantial one, actually. We are in a digital age, and museums have to recognize this, that no longer is it just the physical one-on-one contact one must have. The Metropolitan Museum in New York was represented at this seminar, and they pointed out that last year they had 6 million on-site visitors to the museum, but they had 44 million visitors online. So museums now must come to terms with the fact that they have to have an engagement with the public online as much as they do just having a one-on-one in the museum.
So what's a museum, for instance, that's really making major strides with technology?
Well, I will tell you, this is jaw-dropping. The Cleveland Museum of Art just underwent a major restoration recently, and they have created a digital experience like no other. First of all, they have stations around the museum which you can have sort of different pieces of resonance with the art. But then they have this, what you're seeing here, which is this, what they call the wall, and it's a giant digital mural. And what you do is you take your device, as you saw that person did there, an iPad. You choose a piece of work that you want from the wall, and you have it downloaded onto your device, your iPad or your iPhone. You then take it, and then you walk into the museum, and you have the experience that you want. For example, if you want to see armory, you call it up on your iPad, and you get all the relevant information that you want, how it was constructed, what its context is in the art world. Not only can you do this, but you can also download everything from your museum visit and go home and learn about it later. So say you want to go through the museum and just have that one-on-one with the painting and learn about everything later, you can. I mean, this really changes the entire scope.
Worcester should do that because they've taken the titling off the paintings. So the head of the Google Art was there last night, and they're like downloading and digitizing. Is that a good thing? Do we want Google to be in this business?
Well, the reality is this is what's happening. I mean, Google has partnered with more than 300 institutions at this point to digitize a major portion of their collection, and this represents museums in over 54 countries around the world. And you can scroll in and see little bits of the canvas that you couldn't even see if you were in front of the museum. So it does have its value. But as Amit Sood, the head of Google Art, told the panel recently, there's a lot of fear that comes with museums for this kind of digitization.
Fear of the internet, fear of copyright, fear of what's going to happen when we put this image up. Is our museum going to shut down because people won't come? Our revenue sources are going to dry up. Some of them are very genuine fears that I think we have to work through.
What about all that? Make some good points.
Well, and they're dealing with a lot of copyright issues as well. I mean, they pointed out the Rijksmuseum, which I just recently visited in the Netherlands, has sort of carte blanche taken the digital age forward. In Europe, there are a lot of digital rights issues, copyright issues, and they've said, you know what, if people are going, they have this great line from the Rijksmuseum director, if people are going to reproduce Night Watch, their iconic Rembrandt piece, then let them reproduce the original. Not that they want them to do it, but at least it's out there. But at the same time, the director of the Cleveland Museum of Art, or the COO, I should say, who we just saw the digital wall, she says there's precedent that this digitization will actually work and help, and that's what they found in digitizing over 95% of their collection.
I bring up the example of Napster, of that the whole downloading free songs and how it was going to put an end to the whole music industry, and they found that the people that were most likely to download these free songs were the ones who went and bought the CD, who wanted the whole album. And that's sort of like, if you really have a taste for something and you want more of it.
So where are we on all of this? Is Boston at the cutting edge of the digital age?
Well, I think that we're a little behind, frankly, and I think that this is part of the reason the Boston Athenaeum convened this seminar. A couple of examples that I've been struck by recently. First, in the MFA, just in a coin gallery recently, I had an experience where I was able to use an iPad. They also have developed this app that you can use on iPads where you can explore these coins. You can zoom in, just like the Google Art Project. You can flip the coin around. You can have all the experience you want with it that you can't get necessarily by just standing in front of a case. And I felt that it kept me in a coin gallery, something, frankly, I wouldn't have been that interested in, a lot longer. And this is what they're saying. We just talked about the Worcester Art Museum not too long ago, and they found that people are whipping through at sort of Autobahn speeds through the galleries. But I think when you have engagement like this and you're looking at your iPad and you can make your own experience, it does change things. We saw that at the Worcester Art Museum where, yes, as you mentioned, they've taken the wall labels off the wall, but they've also placed iPads, as you see here, in the gallery. And everybody programs the iPads a little bit differently. Here, you can have a viewpoint from a variety of different people about the works of art. It's either a reverend or a curator or somebody else who just has some sort of connection to the art. So it's a whole wild west out there of programming your own experiences.
I guess they already took my suggestion. I didn't realize that. All right. Thanks, Jared.